In the last video, we see the captain being attacked by the android now. On to the next part. If you haven't watched the earlier videos, please check the description where you'll find the links to the earlier part. Make sure to watch them. Hua Rin told Mach Jin that the droids are the one that shows up once all the people disappear, and then they attack every living thing they see, and now they are hunting down Sari Young and her group relentlessly. Hua Rin told Mach Jin that when she came back after finishing her tour, she was also attacked, but if it hadn't been for her father, she probably wouldn't have survived. For some unknown reason, they never came to the place where her father was, and even if everyone else disappears, her dad remains, but in that dormant state. Mach Jin told her that her father is hanging on. He's hanging on by burning his entire internal energy along with his soul, ready to face inner demons if he has to. And it must be because there's something he has to protect no matter what. Mach Jin found his act to be quite admirable, so he told her that he'd take care of everything. He then decided to go out and take a look at the face of the scum responsible for the shit that is going on in Manhwa. At the same time, Suryong and Robert were surrounded, while Sunya was hiding behind Suryong. Suryong had no idea what was going on, nor why the droids are attacking humans, so she asked Sunya if such a thing is possible. Sunya replied. She told Suryong that such a thing is impossible because the intelligence systems of androids still cannot violate the 3 laws of robotics, so attacking humans isn't an option for them. Suryong was like, then, why are they all acting like this? Are they malfunctioning? Or maybe they don't see us as humans. At the same time, a thought came to Robert. He was like, this androids are capable of attacking humans. Don't tell me they're combat androids. The droids surrounded them, and they charged forward to attack. Suryong immediately told Sunja to hold on tight and hide well while she fended off their attacks. But to her surprise, the droids were being shot down, and they all exploded. The person who launched the attack was Robert. He told them that they are not droids, but they are Iron Gangshur. Just so you guys know, Gangshur are reanimated corpses or zombies. Suryong and her crew were surrounded by the thousands of droid. At the same time, some people were watching them through a camera. The person was telling their master, while observing Suryong and her crew, that the leader of the ship is the blazing Devil Tang Suryong, and next to her is intelligent android Sunja. Hold on, wait a minute. Don't tell me that my beautiful small Lily Sunja is not human, but an android. What a plot twist. She also told the leader that Robert Carlyle is the former first sergeant of the Northern Galaxy Combat Unit Special Tactical Division. Altogether, they created the S-Devil Group, which is a group of bounty hunter mainly operating in the outskirts of the galaxy. So they're not a threat, and they can be eliminated within 10 seconds. The leader said to the droid, "Did you just say he was from the Northern Galaxy Combat Unit, moreover from the Special Tactical Division?" The droid then asked the leader if it should issue the elimination order. The leader name is Count Richel. So, as a means of reference, we would be calling him Richel. Richel didn't reply to the issuing of the command since he was quite suspicious of Mach Jin, who just arrived on site. Mach Jin asked Suryong and her group what the heck is going on since they were just fighting. Not quite long, but it's already over before he arrived. Robert boastfully told him that he went all out, and he had been waiting every day for a day like this, so he kept his equipment well oiled up. He boastfully said to them, "If I had listened to someone and sold my equipment as secondhand, we wouldn't have escaped today's crises." The person he was referring to was Suryong. She sulkingly told him that they were forced to sell it back, then due to the lack of money for ingredients. But Robert told her that luckily he disagreed with that idea, or else they wouldn't have been able to deal with all the droid today. Sunya told them that they didn't deal with the droid, rather they retreated on their own, or else they wouldn't have survived if they kept attacking. Mach Jin ignorantly asked them, "What the heck are these things on the ground? Or are they armor?" He said to them, "Do you guys wear these metal things?" Suryong told him that it's not armor, but a droid, or he can call them robot. Mach Jin was like, "A DRO? Bot? What are you saying? Can you just talk in a language I can understand?" Suryong sat down looking all tired. She told him that he won't understand even if she explained it, so she told Sunya to summarize it for him. Sunya told Mach Jin that he should think of it as a machine that can think and act like a person. But Mach Jin said to her while dangling the droid hand, "No matter how much the world changes, how could a chunk of metal mimic a human?" But to his surprise, Sunya removed her head to show him an example. Mach Jin immediately grabbed Warren in shock. He asked Sunya what the hell is she. Suryong said to Sunya, "Did you not tell him yet?" Sunya replied, "We were busy, so I couldn't tell him I am a droid." At the same time, Rochelle was observing them through the broken droid on the ground. The droid told Rochelle that Mach Jin is not registered in the database. Also, it appears that he doesn't have an internal energy drive, indicating that he is a pure natural. Rishal stood up. He said to the droid that, judging by Machin's foolish action, he's not someone to worry about, but the main problem is Robert. He said to the droid, if Robert is from the Special Tactical Division of the Galaxy Combat Unit, then he's an elite soldier. Moreover, if he's a first sergeant, then he is the best of the best. So he told the droid to be thoroughly vigilant and investigate Robert, because he wouldn't have come to Manhwa by coincidence without a definite purpose. Somewhere in the Milky Way, a ship was moving at an incredible speed, heading to Heavenly Demon's Sect District. Ritak and Chunrik went to welcome the ship as soon as it landed. A person then came down the ship's stairs and walked towards Ritak and Chunrik. Ritak said to the person, "Thanks for coming such a long way, officer." The officer yawned since it was quite a long journey. But to my surprise, the so-called officer was a midget. The person's name is Cho Dane, a first-class officer from the Disaster Safety Headquarters Central Committee of the Heavenly Demon Sect. As a means of reference, we would be calling the officer Dane. Dane told Riddick that his journey is quite tiresome, so whatever you want to show him should better worth the effort of him coming over. Some unknown time later, they brought Wayu, who was on a wheelchair, to show him to Dane. Riddick asked Dane if he noticed anything strange on the palm mark on Wayu's head. Dane decided to check it out while climbing on a table due to his short stature. He placed his hands on Wayu's head, and he asked him if it hurt. Wayu told him that the pain has greatly subsided. However, his head still feels a persistent heat. Dane was surprised that he's feeling heat. He then said to Wayu, "Do you mean you are only feeling heat but no pain?" Wayu replied yes. Dane then hit Wayu's head again out of the blue, which almost made him bit his tongue. But he was unable to complain since the man was his superior. Dane thought for a moment about what the issue might be. At the same time, Ritak placed his hand on Wayu's head. He told Dane that his palm is a bit different since the original scar has swollen. But his palm strike is rather ardent, so it doesn't seem like the same martial arts techniques. But Dane told him that they are the same martial arts technique, since both scars are from the Nine palm. Some minutes later, somewhere inside the ship, Dane sat down on a chair, while Chunrak came in with a box filled with food to serve Dane. Ritak told Dane that the Nine palm is the lowest tier martial art, taught to any introductory disciple of the sect. Even him have mastered it by the age of 7. However, the scars that the Nine palm always leave behind seems quite different from the one on Wuyu's head. Dane told Ritak that he's correct since the essence of the Nine palm lies in cold energy, but it left behind heat instead, so the scars naturally feel different. Which means that Machin has reached a level where he can perfectly suppress the fundamental coldness of the Nine palm and leave only the heat of the impact, which is an act of consideration to avoid harming the enemy. Ritak asked him with a surprised look if such a thing is really possible, because reversing the fundamental nature of martial arts is like making fire out of ice. Dane said to Ritak it's theoretically possible, but for now, let eat. How about some black bean noodles? Inside the S-Devil's ship, Robert was telling them that the droids that attack them is Iron Gangster. Saryong was intensely looking at the sausage in front of her. She took one and she asked Robert, "What does he mean by Iron Gangster?" Robert told her that he heard a rumor while he was still active in the military. He heard that they are developing a new type of android that includes humans in its killing parameters. But Saryong deemed such rumors to be ridiculous because android intelligence circuits are designed based on the 3 laws of robotics, so they can't harm humans. Robert told her that to bypass that laws, they replaced the intelligence circuits with the brains of deceased humans. That's why it's called Iron Gangster Project. Machin was touching Sunja's face. He asked her, is she really not human? Sunja asked him if she should take off her head for him again. She can also disassemble her arms and legs. He told her there's no need for that. He was more surprised at how bizarre the world has become, so he told her that they should eat. But to his surprise, the food is finished. Sir Young told Robert that what he is saying about the Iron Gauntshur makes sense based on the fact that they attacked them, although it's too absurd to believe. But what's more insane is that they're using the brains of people to power the Gauntshur. And as she turned around, she noticed the death stare on Machin's face, so she asked him what is wrong with him. But she realized that he was angry because of the finished sausage. She then told Sunja to grill some more hot dogs and feed him, but Sunja told her that the sausage is finished. Seo Young was like, then there is nothing we can do. She stood up, and she told them that they need to get a clear grasp of the situation, since it does feel like they're caught in a rather unlucky situation. But to her surprise, Machin became furious out of the blue. Machin said angrily while exuding a small amount of energy, "Such disrespectful beings. Even if the era of the martial world's etiquette is gone, daring to steal my food is a crime, even if they didn't know his true identity. He have already declared himself as the supreme heavenly demon, so how dare they show such disrespect? Seryong was like, what the heck is he saying? Robert replied, are you asking me? She said, oh, right. He did say he's the supreme heavenly demon, but she was completely clueless by what he meant by supreme. So she left, since it was quite confusing. She told him that they should deal with his meal later, since there is a more bigger priorities at hand. Robert decided to follow her out. Sunja also did the same, leaving Makjin in the room alone. He finally calmed down. He stared at the sausage crumbs on the tray. He picked it up and ate it. Seryong went back to observe the site where they were attacked. They arrived on site. Robert picked up one of the droid broken hand. He was disappointed at how poorly it was made. The joints are also quite disappointing, since it was made with weak alloys. Sunja told him that it's because it's a prototype and not a finished product. While talking, she noticed something when she scanned the droid. So Young asked her if she's trying to see something. Sunja told her that it's not just the body that is weak, the neural networks are also simple. The intelligence network circuit is equipped with a primitive M207 chip. She then threw it on the ground after taking out the chip, since it's at a level that's embarrassing to call artificial intelligence. And the M207 chip is optimized for receiving commands, so it lacks autonomous will. Seryong said to her, do you mean the droids are all remotely controlled? Suanya replied, yes. Each individual unit are remotely controlled. She added the total number of droids that attacked them was 9,817 based on her detection. So that means at least 9,817 humans were controlling those droids. Her deductions were correct because somewhere unknown in the place where Isha is staying, there are at least 9,817 people controlling the droid. Sarah Young said to Sonia, what was the total population of the AWA district? Sonia replied, there are currently 9,818 total people in MANHWA, but she was only able to detect 9,817 people, and one person is missing. That person is MANHWA, SEC leader back at the Heavenly Demon Base. They said to Ritak while cleaning his mouth, I command the state of immobility and lockdown for the entire District 32. No one is to move, and no one is to leave or be allowed in. So he should recall all dispatched personnel immediately. Ritak asked him what's the reason why he's doing all that. Dane replied, these are precarious times. 2,000 years of peace have been too long. The prestige of the Martial Alliance, formed by the union of major sects, has long faded. He then said to Ritak, do you know what happens when the fangs of the tiger that rules the mountain fall out? Ritak replied, when the fangs fall out, wolves will take over. But Dane told him that he's wrong. The wolves will try to become tigers themselves when the fangs of the tiger fall out. He added, wolves form packs because of the tiger, and when that tiger is gone, they will look around with the eyes that saw the tiger. So fellow wolves will start to seem weak. And because they're much weaker than the tiger, the first to become a target in such times is the strongest wolf. With the hunting habit they have developed while in packs, the remaining wolves will band together and kill it. And now in the current martial world, that's the position of the Heavenly Demon sect. So they must act with extreme caution. Riddick then said to Dane, are you saying the unidentified individual using our sect's martial arts is related to this? Dane replied, I don't know. That is the bigger problem. While entering his ship, he told Riddick that he received an emergency communication just before arriving here, that the unknown individual is headed toward Manwha. Riddick asked with surprised face if he meant Manwha. Dane replied yes. An unknown element has been placed on a powder keg ready to explode, and just a spark would explode the world. Hence, understanding the situation comes first, then action comes next, and so he zoomed off in his ship back to where he's coming from. Back at Manhwa, Seryong and her crew went to the place where the Manhwa sect leader is. Seryong asked Warren if she's saying that the disappeared people show up again at night. Warren replied yes, except for her father. He stayed behind in his current form. Seryong asked Sunja how much time until sunset. Sunja replied, on the Manhwa planet, day and night switch every 6 hours, so there's only 1 second before sunset. And to their surprise, the sect leader started rubbing Warren's head as soon as sunset reached. Warren told them that the action of her father, stroking her head, is done without consciousness. Same goes for him sipping tea while surveying the premises and reading in the garden. All are done without consciousness. Just like before she left for her last performance tour. He did the same on her birthday last year, and for some reason, he repeats the same action every day when the sun rises. Same goes for others, they repeat a specific action every day. Robert told Seryung through the earpiece that no one is showing up and the streets are still empty. Seryung then asked Sunya what's going on and why are the people of the district late at showing up today. She then asked Sunya if she detected anything. Sunya said to her, "There is something, but instead of them appearing, you're gradually fading." At first, Seryung had no idea what she was talking about, but she realized that she's beginning to fade, and within a matter of seconds her vital signs completely disappeared. Somewhere in the Milky Way, inside the Greenwood ship, a report was made to Sungbom while he was watching the planet from his ship. The driver told him that a short while ago, a teleportation was detected from the center of the Manhwa planet. Analysis also confirmed the person being teleported to be Blazing Devil Seryung, and the destination is the second moon of Manhwa planet, called Genta. Somewhere in Genta, inside a particular portion of Genta, there is a golden light that just appeared out of the blue, and that light was Seryung reappearing after the forced teleportation. Although she had no idea what was happening since she thought she was disappearing, she was so damn worried, and she thought she's about to die and become a ghost. She was like, "No, bring me back to life, I still have so much to do." But she realized that she had become visible, so she wondered what the heck is going on. And when she turned around, she was surprised when she saw Rishal behind him, but she had no idea who he is. At the same time at the Greenwood mothership, the driver told Sungbom that the teleportation seems a bit unusual since there are no traces of consent from the moving entity during the teleportation process. If that's the case, it could be an unauthorized force transfer, a unilateral teleportation, which is forbidden by galactic law. So the driver told Sungbom that it's a serious issue and it might be best to report it to the higher-ups. But Sungbom said to him, "Is there anyone higher than me?" The driver was shocked by his question, so he immediately went down on his knees, and he told Sungbom that there is no one higher than him, and he is the sole commanding authority. Sungbom said to him, "That's good, just keep monitoring it for now, and if they're truly using technologies forbidden by the galactic law on that moon, it implies that there is a significant backing, possibly from a high authority." So he told the driver not to intervene, and he should make sure to investigate thoroughly before taking any action, because they need to assess whether knowing about whatsoever is in Jaunt would bring them more harm than benefit. At another scene, the matron was surprised when Elena told her that she met a man that claimed to be her father in Manhwa. He clearly said he was the one who fathered her, and she lost in the duel with him. Matron stood up. She said to herself while looking outside that she never expected the one who defeated her daughter and claimed to be her father is now at Manhwa. Inside the S-Devil ship, Robert panically told Makjin that they have to save the captain because some bastard dared to kidnap her. But while he was busy yapping, Makjin was like, "What the heck is he saying?" Sunya told him that she don't know either, he's just swearing, and she don't really want to translate it. Warren told them that the place where Seryung was kidnapped might have something to do with the incidents on Manhwa. Maybe others were taken the same way, but of course they don't have any proof. Sunja told her that she's wrong. There's evidence showing that others are taken the same way, because the phenomenon when the people from the Manhwa planet disappeared is the same. It's a forced teleportation without the mover's consent, which highly suggests unilateral teleportation forbidden by the galactic law. Robert grabbed Makjin cloth and he was like, "See, that means everyone is trapped somewhere. We can't just sit here, so we need to act quickly and rescue them." Makjin asked Sunja what the hell is wrong with him. Sunja replied while walking that apparently Robert has post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, from his time in the military, and he struggles to control his anger when he gets stressed. Makjin then calmly told Robert to remove his hand, but Sunja told him that it's no use. Once he starts, he doesn't listen to anyone, but to her surprise, he removed his hands when Makjin seriously told him for the second time to remove his hands. Sunya was like Makjin could compete in an anger management contest. Some minutes later, Sunya was telling them that if Seryung has been subjected to unilateral teleportation, there are limits to how far she can be moved. Technically, long-range teleportation is impossible, so interplanetary transfer is out of the question. Then it's either within the MTWA planet or one of those two moons over there. Makjin asked her, "Where exactly is it then?" She said to him, "Since the MTWA planet still has no life signs except for the MTWA sect leader, then they can rule it out. So they're now left with those two moons, Genta and Cicerus. Although there are life signs on both, so it's hard to pin down an exact location since the moon are too close, so they have to guess." She thought about it for a moment, and she ended up choosing the golden planet, Cicerus, since Seryung loves the color gold. But she was completely wrong because Seryung is currently at Genta. Seryung asked Rishal for his identity. Instead of replying, the droid started analyzing Seryung. The droid told Rishal that she has an externally mounted one for Giga internal energy drive and a 3 Giga ultra high density, high capacity internal energy drive embedded in the body. The only external weapon she has is the electronic soft sword attached to her waist. Rishal said with a disappointing tone, "You just have a 3 Giga internal energy drive. A backwater bounty hunter hiding something that she can't even use." But Saryom said to him, "Who are you? Are you deaf?" At the same time, somewhere unknown, there is plants surrounded in minimal light. In front of that plant was a man, and that man is Dane's master. Dane told the man that there is an issue he need to discuss. The man said to him, "I know, isn't what you want to discuss related to the events at MANHWA planet, and you have been tasked with solving it." The man then said a proverb, "Do not act impulsively, and wait until the bud fully blooms. Only then can you tell if it's a poplar or a willow tree." So he told Dane that they must wait until the entities backing him are completely exposed. Only then can they strike decisively. The man was like, "I raised you to understand as much, or have you not matured enough?" Dane didn't reply. In his mind, he would be like, "Is this man kidding me right now?" The master turned around. He said to Dane, "Is there another issue that you want to talk about? What could it be that has brought out your childishness?" Dane told the man that during his investigation into the matter, someone unexpected appeared. He performed the sex martial arts and reached the level of reversing the energy flow. And he also knows about the sex secret technique, Demon Heart's Sura Sword technique. Moreover, he had reached the pinnacle of mastery. But the problem is that this person is not affiliated with their sect. At first, the man calmly told Dane to kill him. But Dane said to him, "What do you mean?" The man then furiously said to Dane, "The person is an anomaly, a monster to be precise. So find him and kill him without fail. And he must be killed at all cost." And so Dane went out on another mission to hunt down our protagonist, digging his own grave. We have already caught up to the last chapter. You guys should be expecting new upload after every 3 chapters. Once more, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts about this recap. And if you want, you can help me by joining to my channel.